And with me are LeeRoy and Mazie Parham, longtime homesteaders in the Fairbanks area. And we're taping for the oral history program. This session is at the Rasmussen Library, and my name is Susan Fisher. We're going to start by asking Mr. Parham to tell us about the situation which led him to come to Alaska.
Do you mind calling him Reverend?
I don't mind, Reverend Parham. What year did you decide to come up here?
In 1951.
And you had been living where?
Stockton, California.
What kind of work did you do there?
Well, I was a truck driver when I left. That's what I done, truck drive, and done commercial work some too. But most of truck driving. Until then after I got so far gone, and I told the Lord if He'd give me a store, I'd preach. If He'd give me a store, I yet wouldn't preach. And after He gave me a store and I got broke by letting people have stuff on credit, and they couldn't pay me. So I got down where I couldn't buy groceries in a way of speaking because I had to pay the wholesale company before I could get any more. And I'd be on the streets mostly every evening having church, and then the store. And actually, to really make it plain as I can think right now, is by me being on the street, and one man took to like me. He come to the store several times, and he heard me turn away some of them that I've been letting have stuff on the credit and they never paid me. And so I had to have cash money so I could get some more groceries to put on the shelf. So he felt sorry for me. So he said to me, he said, I know we can go and make you enough money in a month and a half or 2 months, I think he said, and people didn't have money in your pocket and everything. And I couldn't believe it at all. And I said, I don't believe that. And he said, I sure can show you. I said, you sure got to show me because I don't believe that. I don't believe I can make that much money in that short of a time and pay my bills back and have money in my pocket and food on the shelf. And he pulled out his checkbook and showed me this. He'd been up here in Alaska, Fairbanks, Alaska, he said about 2.5 months, I think it was, the closest I can record. And he showed me 6,000 cash dollars. And I got ready to leave Stockton, California, and come make me some money.
Now, do you remember what that man had done to earn his money in Fairbanks?
Well, he worked around the clock, he said. And he said, and they be driving, people, the contractor be driving up and down the streets trying to get people to work. Wouldn't nobody work. Russian work, the German wouldn't work, and nobody wouldn't work. The Eskimo, nobody.
Was it a construction work or mining construction?
Construction.
Construction work.
Yeah, that's what he done. Well, most of the time. Then he said, some of it, he said, I'll be truthful with you, said, but Ray explained to me about $2,000 he gambled for that though. Mm-hmm. But the other he had made cash. I mean, he worked and made that much money cash, and he put it in the bank. And when he come back, he showed it to me, and when I seen that, I was ready to leave there. But yet still, I didn't have enough money to buy my ticket. I had to borrow money from one of our sisters of our church to come up here. And we got on a two-motor plane. Didn't have no airfields where we went. Just like in the woods, just had to turn the plane around by hand and go straight up, keep from knocking the wings off. So that's how we got to Fairbanks. We got to Fairbanks, no airport either, right down here next to, pretty close to, well, right there at the bowling alley. Right across there. Wheatsfield. They had just a little small, airport, I call it, but, well, you know, and that's where we lit down at. The other word wasn't no airport. So, and then I come to work, and I found that he would tell me I worked round the clock. Minutes out I could work, I worked.
And was that in construction mostly?
Construction, yeah. Yeah, I'm a carpenter. Maybe I should have said that first. I'm a carpenter by trade.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And back in those times, people that were employers were driving the streets looking for people to work.
Right.
So it was easy to find work.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Had to work all I could stand to work, all I could be woke to work.
Uh-huh. But now you didn't bring your wife and daughters up here. Mrs. Parham, what were you doing when he first came up here?
Well, I stayed home, and I had to take the store in control then and run the store until he got enough money made to have us brought up. There was myself and the three girls, and of course Chris was the baby at that time.
There's three of them.
Yeah, we had three girls.
Yeah.
But there was Shirley, Sandra, and Chris. And so all I did, I worked in the store all the time, but after he left, then we closed it down because nobody could support the store. And I just waited and hoping that any day he would say for us to come because I was ready to leave.
Now, in 1951, how difficult was it for you to communicate between Alaska and California? Could you make a telephone call?
I didn't try.
Didn't try.
I really didn't.
How about writing letters? How long would it take a letter to go from Alaska to California? Do you have any idea?
I
made 3 or 4 days or more.
No, it took longer than that.
I did?
It went by plane even took longer than that to go to California. I would say at least about 5 days. Now, that's what my imagination is thinking. I never really thought about that.
Now, at what point were you able to bring your family up? You worked for a while and saved some money. When were you able to bring them up?
About a month. I was doing about a month.
About a month.
I was doing. Well, maybe I could have got them quicker, but, kind of still, have a little ahead. Yeah. Then.
And you found a place for them to live?
I built a little place for us to live before I let them come.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And where was this? Where did you
go? It's on 23rd Street in...
21st.
What's 24?
21st Street.
21st Street, around that area. How many houses were out there then? Very many?
No. Actually, we just bought a lot out there in the woods. And just a little tray out there. And we built a house on that, we used to call it Wagon Road. Then it kept on until we got out into the state. I don't mean state, the city. It had, I forget how long now, before we got in the city for the bill of the street. Anyway, when they came, as far as I can recall now, we had to use kerosene lights at that time. And I think we did have rent a power plant once or twice or something we needed. We used a power plant for lights, sometime, and for heating too. If we didn't have no wood, we could forget about. Of course, we already know that anyway. Trying to make it like it was in California, because there's no way at that time. Because everything around here was just wood, and all up and down. Christmas wasn't just a wagon road and no houses, and all the windows was knocked out of them in the way of speaking, and everything was open. No one way of speaking. Nobody steal nothing. Nobody take nothing. And you could leave your house wide open, cook what you want. You forget it, just go on. Well, nobody take nothing out of it at all. Nobody, even the dogs, as I can recall, didn't go in there and get nothing. The bears didn't either.
Yeah, we didn't see no bears, thank the Lord.
Yeah.
So at the outset then, you built this house in South Fairbanks, and you lived there for a while. Your family joined you, and you were working construction.
That's right.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you about the work opportunities in the early 1950s. I think you have indicated to me that anyone who was willing to work could find a job up here. Would you talk some more about that?
Well, I could say a lot about it because everybody come up, they want to work. They work. And them that didn't want to work, they just wouldn't work. And so different ones would ask me questions like from Stockton, California and Arkansas. My people say that different my friends and say, you crazy, I wouldn't be up there. I say, freezing to death. I don't see how you can live up there. Too cold. And when you're coming back home, and once you hurry up and come on back home. And to me, they talking to somebody didn't have no sense because I was going to stay here. Because I always said, my home is where I can make the best living, make the most money. And I yet says that. If I can't make a living, it's not my home. It's time for me to move on. And that's where I've been since I've been up there. A lot of them been trying to get me to come back to stateside. But I tell them no. So, well, you done retired, why don't? I said, well, I love up here. And furthermore, I ain't leaving because God called me to preach and give me a check. And he ain't told me no yet. I'm yet carrying his word. I'm yet being a pastor like the Lord gave to me when I got to leave, and he told me no. He told me no, I couldn't leave. Build this church, and I'm yet the pastor of it. And I worked for a minute, and I got, and I have to say this too. I don't have to say it, but I would like to say that every construction job I worked on, I carried myself in a way that they respect me highly as a minister. And if I tell them I didn't want to work on Thursday night, Tuesday night, Friday night, I didn't have to work. If I tell them I didn't want to work on Sunday, I didn't work. And everybody wanted to work every Sunday. And some of them told me, if you don't work, you want to leave? I said, lay me off, I got another job. Yet, because I know I could get a job the next day, had to worry about no job. So I kept my promise to the Lord that I wasn't going to work on Sundays. And I worked, I like to get this in that too, I worked one Sunday for our local, common local, because they said they were discriminating. And I told them they wasn't discriminating in the different unions, you know. I stood up and I asked the church, would it be all right, would they care if I worked one Sunday to prove to the state of Alaska that we didn't discriminate up here? And they give over and said, yeah, Pastor, one Sunday. And that's the only Sunday I worked up here since I've been up here, to prove that Alaska wouldn't discriminate with jobs. Didn't care what color you were, you could get to work. Didn't put you down for nothing. If you could do it, you had the job. And I told them I know it because by precept job, I've been like that. Right here, I had a different job. I didn't get a chance to do it. I was in Stockton, California. Right here, I got a chance to do it. Everything that could I do it, I told them, yeah. That I had never done, I've seen it done. I didn't doubt it. I believe I could do it. And went right on and done it. And they thought I was excellent doing it because of the way I done it. I was just like that. Anything anybody else done, I felt like I could do it. And I done it.
I want to ask you about the Carpenters Union. I know that you were or you may still be a member of the local union here. What number is that union?
12.3.
And did you join that when you first got up here, or did you?
Yes, I did. I joined it. Well, had Teamster license. You know, in Stockton, California, you have to have Teamster's license. But the Carpenter license, I mean, union. We had to be in a union. I come on the union. Non-union. But when I got up here, I could make more money than Carpenter local, and I know how to Carpenter because I've done it on the job. And I joined the Carpenter local, and we right on out to work. The next day, after I got up here.
And before your family came up, where did you stay? Did you have to rent a room, or did you camp out? Do you remember what you did?
Well, we had one. He's still here, Martin. We slept in a tent on the ground bedroom. till we got that little, I call it a house, there where we could have somewhere to stay till we got a chance to be here. So that's where we made it. I didn't care how cold it was, it didn't matter to me, I stayed right here. I'd get up warm and go to bed cold, and wake up warm and go back and get cold again all day. And never thought about stopping. He'd be cold all day, and hands too. I got used to it. It didn't bother me. I'm that way down yet pretty well. And I'm 76. And I'm that way now. The cold weather don't bother me. Yeah.
Now let's talk about how you came to be homesteaders. Now that would have been the territory of Alaska. Must have had some type of program.
We got you in Fairbanks, Alaska, and that's we've been here a while. And we working, and we was walking up and down Cushman, and we just looking how the people look and how and what they was doing, and we met one Indian fella, Jew, and he said to us, "Why don't we homestead and get you some of this land that you can be recognized like the rest of the people?" He said to us, me and my brother was here together, that there's no discrimination at all, here at all. Said if you was back in stateside, said we were discriminated against it, said I know y'all is too. But now you got a chance. You can be what you want to be right here in Fairbanks, Alaska. And he began to tell us about the homestead land, that everybody had a chance to homestead. Some was 8 acres, and some was 160 acres, and on, and what it meant to us that we didn't get developed, that we could be Mr. So-and-so like the people in stateside being Mr. Said, and if I were y'all, said I'd homestead. Said I'd homestead here and get a start. He said, I wouldn't care if you were like me. He said, I wouldn't care. If they stop homesteading, I just keep on working my land and just keep on staying here. And I thought about it because I fed my home before I could make my living at. And I know in Stockton, California, I got in debt, so much debt, until I didn't know what to do. I couldn't pay my wholesale man. People that had my stuff out on credit and couldn't pay me. And I had a friend that came up. He said to me, he says, if I was you, I'd leave this place and go to Fairbanks, Alaska. So you can make enough money up there 2.5 months or 2 months to pay for all of your food you let out and fill your ship up and yet have money in your pocket.